What is up, everybody? I am Kevin Iole. UFC 317 is coming up June 28th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And my guest right now, I think, is going to set a record. If I'm not mistaken, he is going to become the first UFC fighter ever to defend a world champion back-to-back against somebody named Kai. Alexandre Pantoja, the UFC Flyweight champion, joins me now. He beat Kai Asakura in December, coming back, and he will fight Kai Kara-France on International Fight Week in the co-main event. My man Pantoja, how are you? Good to see you, brother.
Very good, man. Good talk to you, Kevin. That's crazy. Yeah, Japanese Kai, now New Zealand Kai. That's
Everything,
weird.
isn't it?
But I like coincidence. I love coincidence.
And of course, we should remind everybody, right? Who was my dog's favorite UFC fighter? You remember that the last fight when I was interviewing you before the Kai Asakura fight. Every time that I mentioned Asakura, my dog started barking. So
I remember that. Yeah,
yeah, and
he
you
don't
would say,
like
well,
it.
we know who his favorite fighter is. And
It's
he's here
me.
sleeping nicely next to me. So now we know that the champ is here and he has nothing bad to say. I want to bring this up to you. You are making your fourth title defense. You won the title and now have 3 successful defenses. Kamaru Usman fought the other day in Atlanta, and a lot of talk about him being the greatest welterweight of all time, and he made 5 successful title defenses. Obviously Demetrious Johnson's kind of gone out there and lapped the field, but do you think you're doing enough to get yourself in the Hall of Fame with this run that you're on, 3 defenses, potentially 4 if you can get past Kai Kara-France?
Yeah, I don't figure out that, like I'm a fighter, I'm provide to my family. That's the more important thing in my life. I think you just when I finish, maybe I look to the past and I see what I did. But right now, I just thinking about June 28. I have this amazing fighter to do it. Kai Kara is a very tough opponent. And that's something I really want to do. I want to protect my belts. I want to protect my division. That's so important right now. You see a lot of champions moving on, but I think especially my division, people say a lot of bad things about the flyweight division years ago. Right now it's very different, especially last year, 2024. That's amazing year for flyweights. You did
Yes.
a lot of main events. I'm doing 2 main events, one in Brazil, Rio, last UFC in Las Vegas, and that's very important for me, represent my division, and yeah, that's something everybody want to be the great. I think every athlete want to be the best, and I try to do that every day in my gym, and the opportunity to fight in UFC, opportunity to have this belt with me, that's amazing. I'm still feel grateful for that. The opportunity to go to the T-Mobile Arena one more time, 2,100 people in the arena, millions and watching from TV. That's amazing opportunity. I'm very glad. I'm very proud about myself.
If Dana White ever gets sick, we know who can take his place here. Listen to him shout off all those statistics there. The man is doing unbelievable stuff. Alex, I want to ask you this. You called Demetrious Johnson out after the last fight, after you submitted Asakura. He decided to stay retired. He did not want to fight again. Did you have any conversation with Demetrious about it and discuss with him, the possibility of him coming out of retirement and fighting you?
I respect him a lot. Everything he does for my division, that's so important to have. He is one of the best on the MMA. Or the more IQ in the octagon, what I see, what he does, the way he does so fast.
Right.
Uh, I send his DM, of course, I respect him a lot. And I send a DM in Instagram, respect him, and say that's about what I can do. I win the belt for the 4th time. I call him, of course. I call the great one to fight. I'm feel now I have the chance. After the win, a lot of time the belt. Now I think that's enough to call him to fight. And then he
Sure.
say not come back, and then he say to me in my private. maybe we can train together, and that's gonna be amazing. I say that because I trained with Henry Cejudo before. I
Yeah.
trained with Kyoji Good in my gym. I fight with Breno Moreno, a lot of good fights I fight, and I want to fight with the best of the world. In my generation, the best is Demetrious Johnson. If I have opportunity to train with him, that's enough for me. It's gonna be amazing. But still open. If he want to back and fight with me, it's gonna be amazing.
You talk about, and I love what you're trying to do to boost the division and get people in. One of the fighters that's going to be fighting on your card, on the undercard of UFC 317, is Joshua Van. And I'm curious if you keep an eye on him. I mean, to me, he looks like a future champion. I am really impressed by Joshua Van. And I'm curious what your thoughts are. Have you seen him, and how close do you think he is? He's now ranked in the top 10. He's ranked number 10. How close do you think Joshua Van is to being a legit contender?
What opportunity he have right now, yeah. Manel can break his feet, and now he have opportunity to fight with the number one contender. And if he beat him, he the next on the line. That's a amazing step for him. And what I see in the last two fights, he fight with the Tatsuro, the Japanese, and then fight with the Bruno Bulldog. He show amazing striking, amazing takedown defense, very good fighters he fight, but now we have a chance to see he fight with the number one contender. That's a different level. And it's gonna be very interesting to see that fight, see how he does with the rival. Rival is amazing fight, have a lot of good striking, and have a very good grappler too. I'm excited to see that fight, but like I need to focus in my fight. The
Sure.
same day with Kakar France, I have a very tough opponent. Kakar France is, I think, I maybe have the more heavy hands in that division. I have hands too. My opponents know that. That's
Yep.
how that's how I open my way to grappler. I make a good punches and then I go to grappler. That's how I does. But yeah, Josh Ivan is very good contender. Is some guy I'm looking before. He's very good. But now he have the chance to see how good he does with the number one contender.
Do you think, when you think about the division, like, do you think what separates, you've been on both sides of it, you've been the challenger before, now you're the champion. Do you think it's the mentality and the kind of the way the champions think and the top contenders think that separates them from maybe the rest of the pack? Because if you think about it, everybody who's in the UFC is one of the best fighters in the world, right? So all the flyweights are among the greatest flyweights in the world. But when you're talking at the very top, do you think it is more mental than physical that separates them?
Of course. And I think when you have the top athletes, number 10, number 5, number 3, top 3, that's about minimal things like when like a funnel and to win that fights is minimal things you need to do in your life. Okay, people answer me, how much hours you training for day every day? I say I training all my day. I training. I finish my training, but I'm back to home. What I eat, that's make difference in my life, in
Right.
my gym. What the time I go sleep, that make difference. Então, I'm training all the time. I'm thinking about the fight all the time. I think what I'm gonna do all the time. That's about the high level sport. I think this make a lot of difference if you're ready for that. Uh, people, some guys go to the UFC, win 2 fights, and that's enough for him. People think he's realized, but like and another guys know. I all the time I want to be the best. What I say about myself, I don't want to feel I'm the champion of the world. I want to take this belt again. I want to prove one more time I'm the champion of the world. I have this
Right.
opportunity June 28. That's how I make me hungry about that. With the same patience, same fire in my heart. I know when I fight Cara France, he come fight with me with everything. I'm not gonna fight just one athlete. I fight with a man have family. I fight with a man have kids. I
Yeah.
fight with a man gonna put everything in the octagon in that night to win the fight. I'm not gonna fight with the just the fighter. I'm gonna fight with the man. I think that's make a lot of difference when the guys go to the octagon with me because I don't fight with just with the athlete. I fight with the man inside the body, you know.
You're getting into the soul there. I want to ask you this because you fought Steve Verseg. His last fight, he was coming off a 2-fight losing streak. He fought Steve Verseg at UFC 305. He knocks Urseg out. And I have a lot of respect for Steve Urseg, a very, very talented guy, as you know firsthand. What did you make of his victory over Urseg? And did you see that kind of desperation? Because he had fought for the title before, but he was on a 2-fight losing streak. And I think it seemed to me like maybe he fought like he realized it's now or never. If I don't do it in this fight, I might be done. Did you see that urgency in him?
I think because he make a very good fight with me. Maybe he think about the Kai France not in his level, something like that. He make a lot that mistake, you know. Maybe he don't figure out Kai France with the powerful Kai France have, you know. He's young. He need like sometimes you need to lose to figure out, and that's about win and lose. You know, the guys come on the feet to fight and lose. What he gonna do right now? You know, what he
Right.
gonna feel right now? You know, I lose a couple times, and every lose I have, I learn a lot about that, you know, and make me better guy, make me a better athlete, maybe better personal. And I think that's maybe can happen with the say we have a very competitive division, Kevin. I think the flyweight is more competitive division. You know, you have fighters with their skills in every part. You have good wrestlers. It's very hard to grapple with a flyweight fighter because we're so fast. We can move so fast, and especially in striking, you need to be a good cardio, good grappler. That's amazing division, you know. And I don't feel so happy because we in different level right now. Everybody is now start to appreciate much more this division.
You have done so much. You're 35 years old right now. Are you having any trouble making the weight? Like, can you continue on? Assuming you win this fight, can you continue on as a flyweight, or will you fight bantamweight before your career is over?
I want to defend this belt. You know, I love my division. My last cut weight is one of the best in my life. You know, goes so well. You know, I'm glad because I'm fighting Las Vegas again. We have a UFC PI there, Performance Institute. It's so easy to make weight in that facilities. You know, you have jacuzzi, sauna, gym, everything the same way. And then you cross the street and you go to the scale. You know, and then 1 hour after you cut your weight you can recover. That's perfect, you know. Last cut weight is perfect. I think it's not gonna be
Good.
there's gonna be a good two again. I just like wait to the day, you know, enjoy the opportunity to fight in the big show in the world, you know. What Dana White do it for UFC, you know, for you see on the last the birthday from Trump, you have a logo from UFC. What UFC doing for the all the world for, especially me, I'm from Brazil, and the opportunity I have to bring my family to United States. You know,
Yeah.
you have amazing country here. I'm very glad to be part of this country. You know, to make my kids grow up here. The opportunity I have my first car here. You know, I never drive in Brazil, and then when I have 27, I moved to America. I buy my first car with a three 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 3,000 and a cheap car, but make me drive for 1 year. You know, I learning how to drive here. I'm very glad to everything I conquer in my life, you know, and I still do that. And like I'm still have opportunity, like I say, to fighting the big show of the world, you know.
Never forget your post-fight interview after you won the title when you said to your father, "Well, are you proud of me now?" And that was
I'm
spine
sure you're
chilling.
proud right now. I'm sure
That
you're
was
proud.
that was really amazing. June
Thank you.
28th, UFC 317. You can see this man, Alexandre Pantoja. He will defend his title yet again against Kai Kara France. Champ, always a pleasure to talk to you. One of my favorites. Best of luck
Thank
to
you,
you, my
Kevin.
friend. We'll see you in Las Vegas.
See you there, Kevin. See you there.
Be well.